This week's topic isn't something that you're going to see on YouTube a whole lot. It's not something you're going to read in magazines a whole lot. We always see if you want to go catch a big trout, check for your low pressure, check for your birds, check for your bait, check for your tide movement, all of that. Well, what do you do whenever it's not, you don't have that? What do you do when the weather isn't right? What do you do whenever it's bluebird and overcast and the tide movement is terrible? Well, when the pressure's high and the tide movement's bad, you're not going to get as many birds. You're not going to get as many bait. What happens? It's my tournament day. It's my day off, and I don't have all the things these guys tell me to do. What am I going to do? That's today. I'm going to show you some pictures from this morning. If you guys don't think that I absolutely love you, I drove an hour home to be here to record this. I'm turning around driving an hour back to go back and go right back to my job, guiding down there in Matagorda. So, kind of like you guys. Speaking of, last week I asked you to like the video. You guys liked it like crazy. It made it go just completely haywire in what my channel is used to seeing. I think it had 2,000 views in the first 4 hours it was out. The video is on its way to 6,000. The subscriber count went way up. Hey guys, you guys are helping me. I'm helping you guys. You're helping me right back. I love it. I'm not asking for $1 from you guys ever, but if you're helping me grow, I love it. First things first, yesterday I had some good friends, Delaney and Sean, come fishing with me. Longtime supporters of the channel. They've been around since it was brand new. It was probably Delaney's last time to get to fish before she goes to have her baby girl. Delaney says that she doesn't think it's a girl. I think the doctors probably know what they're talking about. So let's get down in the comments. Let's wish Delaney and Sean a speedy, healthy, happy new baby girl. And just do what the CCTV family does. Let's just support each other. So hey, Delaney, straight from me. Sean, straight from me. Hope it goes well. It's gonna go well. I know it's gonna go well. And so let's move on. Let's talk about what do you do when the conditions just aren't there. All right, so those were pictures of fish that we caught this morning, a couple of days ago. High pressure, bluebird skies, just wasn't set up for, what you always read about, what your dream day is. Those are the easy answers, guys. They're the easy answers. What are the hard answers? Now, you've seen him on our channel before, Captain Patrick Gardner. I consider him a brother. He's one of my partners. We fish tournaments together. We guide together. He and I talk a lot, and Pat and I we were visiting last night about the weather we were going to have this morning. We had a west wind, high pressure that wasn't moving. It's a two-tide day, but the moon phase, we're kind of in between, so the tides are real weak. There's not a lot of strong water movement. Pat and I, we were talking and bouncing stuff back and forth. If you don't know who Patrick Gardner is, he is one of the most talented wade fishing guides on the Middle Coast. The guy, he humbles me daily. I don't know exactly. I think he's like 10 years younger than I am. But every time he opens his mouth, it just humbles me in what this guy knows. So, Pat and I visited back and forth about what we should do, and, came up with some ideas. And I want to pass forward to you guys, what do the tournament pros do? What do the guys do? We're fishing day in and day out, guides are. Tournament guys, they don't get to pick their schedules. They are handed whatever that Saturday is, that's what they're handed. So what do we do to, make lemonade out of lemons? I think that's how it goes, right? We are going to go off of what is the weather handing us and what is the biology of the trout. What does that fish have to do to survive, to make his body go? Just like a lizard laying on a warm rock. That lizard isn't laying there because he wants to take a nap. He's laying there because he needs to be there. He has to be there. And so that's what we've been using as a recipe on these days whenever, it wasn't set up just right for us. Today, I went and found some shallower flats with mud and shell. You've heard us talk about mud and shell a million times. I talked about it last week. The mud and the shell heat up first whenever that sun hits it. So I found some flats that had some deeper water adjacent to them. We went and fished the deeper water earlier in the morning before the sun was really up good. And, we caught some good fish out there. Congrats to James. He had his personal best today. We caught some good fish out there. And then as the sun rose and got higher and higher, we moved up shallower and shallower. Those fish, just like, you know, Pat and I thought they would, they slid right up on those mud flats, and, you know, we were able to catch more of them. Now, there's not always a lot of bait present, but remember, a bait fish is the same as that trout. Don't separate them. A bait fish is a cold-blooded creature. He needs to come up there and warm up too. So there's food sources that are coming up for those fish to lay there. Are the fish going to feed really aggressively? Sometimes they will. A lot of times they won't. You know, you might see a little 15-minute window during the day where those fish, they'll go off and eat. And that's a lot of the key on catching big fish, is understanding that they're going to eat in a window. So you need to be where they are when they eat. Now, we were able to still catch them throughout the day, but the bite wasn't an aggressive one. It was, you know, we were working our quirkies. We were throwing those Paul Brown originals, the fat boys, and we were working them. But whenever the fish would hit them, a couple of them were aggressive, but a lot of them would just, the fish would just grab it. So you're working it, and all of a sudden it got heavy and it felt different. You set the hook and there was a fish there. And we'll get into this in a later video. I see this a lot. Why do people spend $300 on a custom rod? Well, this is why. These are the days. As cold water trout bite, drifting or waiting, we can feel that difference in the rod. So that's my opinion. Also kind of true. That's why we use them. If we could use $50 rods, we would, I promise. It's an expensive hobby as it is. But so that's what we're doing, is we're letting the weather and the biology of the fish bring them to us, okay? Now, sorry about that. Cage next door getting a little bit rowdy on Fortnite. Had to go have a little father to son discussion about that. So anyhow, so that's what we're doing. We're letting the warming trends, or just the sun warming, we're letting that bring the fish to us, or at least help us get an idea of where they're gonna be at. Now, some of the pictures I showed you guys, we were drifting, we were in deeper water. I know not every one of you wade, and you know, I don't wade every day either. I have customers that don't wade. But even if we go up and wade and it's not working, whenever that barometer is really high, it really seems like the deeper water fish are affected slightly less than the shallow water fish. So we're out fishing in 4.5, 5.5 feet of water. But now we're realizing those fish, they aren't, again, not real aggressive. They're gonna be laying on bottom, just, you know, being still. And so then we're putting on, you know, 1/4 ounce jig heads, plastics, bouncing on the bottom real slow, and they're not hammering it. It's just getting kind of heavy. We're setting the hook, and that's how we're catching them. I'm still concentrating on the mud and the shell. Now, my knowledge of the bait system really helps me in these regards, because I know where the humps are at. I know where, instead of being 5 feet of water, it's 3.5. And so that's getting that fish that much closer to the sun and helping him warm up. But not every day is what you're looking for. These are pieces of the puzzle. We're gonna talk about this all winter. It's pieces of the puzzle. Every time you go out, you're not gonna catch the big fish. But if you can put those pieces of the puzzle together, then you're hedging your bets. You're giving yourself a better shot at doing it. And that's very simple, guys. It's what we're doing day in and day out, is just using what is handed to us. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button. We're gonna keep doing stuff like this. We're gonna keep talking about pieces of the puzzle, help you put it all together, and go out there, catch you a great big old fat mama. Send me a picture. We'll put it on the channel. We'll put it on the page. We'll do something. Go catch a big old fat mama. If you like the video, like it. New right here, subscribe. We will catch you on the next one.